Alright, YouTube, today it's your boy Drew here with Seriously Furious, Furiously Serious, representing Politically Black here in my channel, because I am politically in the black. I'm never coming up in the red on this one. I just, you know what, it's sad. I don't often lose political arguments, and it's because all people know how to do is argue, and I go into a debate. I will drop stats and facts. Here's the fun part online, y'all. Never back that shit up. Make them go do their own research. It's so much more fun. So much more fun. But we ain't even here to discuss that. We're here to talk about publisher versus platform and what that means for you as a creator. A publisher controls what is posted on their page to a letter. They don't have to allow free speech on their page. They don't have to allow nothing. That's a publisher. Facebook is trying to opt into publisher, but they're also acting as a platform for certain members. All right. So a publisher basically has full control of all the rights to the page. Now, a platform is offering you a service to have a voice. YouTube provides a service where I get to have a political opinion and voice. Now, bear with me. I'm not going to get into the legal logistics of both of them, but we are going to cover just a little bit of what each one is and why they matter a bit. All right. A publisher, like I said, has all the rights to their page, anything on it. So if you sign up with New York Times as a writer and you write a pro-Trump article and they don't like that, they'll just take it down. This is what Facebook's gotten in trouble 8 times with the federal government for. Well, 7 times with the federal government. We all know what the first one was. But, well, not the first one necessarily either, just one of the, bigger ones. But, a publisher controls all of its content. It doesn't have to allow you to have a voice on its page. It can control its voice to be all one voice across the whole page. A platform cannot. A platform is where you can upload a video, picture, image, GIF, whatever, as long as it's not violent, condoning violence, or endorsing violence. See, that's also another important part. That's a legal matter we're not getting into. Platforms suck in one regard. If you're a leftist, everyone's opinion is on them. Whereas if you're a right-winger, this is awesome because you get to learn about weak opinions, strong opinions, and the kinds of people who form those opinions. That's just a thing we tend to often look for, is like a weaker argument versus a stronger argument, and who's making the weaker argument. Like, for instance, the weakest arguments to Ben Shapiro are always made by college students. It's a consistent trend. It would tell me that the strongest minded people are not coming out of colleges, but instead are coming out of working fields where they've been for 5 to 10 years and they just learned about life. That's nuts. That tells me a huge problem exists in academia where we need to actually stop and we need to reconsider what the education system is educating on. Just a good consideration, just saying. Let's see. Honestly, though, platforms really do give you more choice and voice, and you really get to say a lot more, go a little bit further, and push the envelope a bit more with the platform. That's where everyone was disappointed in YouTube removing Alex Jones, is it's like, who's next? Whose rights will you violate next? Because he is a celebrity. Whether people like to admit it or not, he is a celebrity. He carries a certain level of celebrity weight with him wherever his name is applied. You cannot tell that man not to go somewhere or not to do something or not to say something and then expect us not to be worried about it. He says the wild and most outlandish shit. Everyone's worried now. If they say that they fried a bag of popcorn till it went beedly beep beep bop and you think they're making fun of Biden, is their whole account gonna go? Is their whole account gonna go? Because I make fun of Biden all damn day and I just push the political boundary just to see what sort of content strike, administrative punishment I'll get. And the algorithm hasn't hit me with shit. But it could be because I'm not monetized. That's a huge possibility. That changes. Seeing YouTube's trying to pull this switch, whereas once you monetize, now you're a part of a publishing aspect of YouTube, which you can't do that. You're either a platform or a publisher, so that's why their rules for the YouTube guide content creators are always changing, is because oof, they're trying to slowly work it into you getting into a publishing deal with them where you can only talk about these topics. Whereas when you start, you're just on a platform where you could say anything. It's an interesting thing that YouTube does, and their algorithm definitely is an AI that's growing beyond their control. Facebook and YouTube both use AIs to sort and detect fraudulent scam videos. An issue I've seen is that they do not teach the AI they don't teach the AI before they unleash it, like what's bad content. So they just unleash it and say, remove bad content, and it forms its own ideas of what bad content is. So, for instance, because Facebook's opinion of Trump is very negative because it's a very leftist space, um, Facebook thinks anything pro-Trump now, and this is their AI, this is just admittedly from a documentary, like how their AI works. It thinks everything related to Trump is automatically bad. Um, Now, these AI scripts are going to make them more into publishers without really the choice being there for us. But just know the difference that a platform gives you freedom of voice, freedom of choice to say what you believe, as long as you're not condoning violence, hysteria, and some sort of awful rhetoric. You can pretty much say whatever you want on YouTube. Facebook is not the same. I could share my videos over to Facebook and they will all get me removed from Facebook again. Peace out, y'all.